What's up, guys? Okay, so right now we're on the Grit Marketing, the Grit Monday call, and I want to talk about today the idea of the pain and how hard it is to run a business. So here's the thing, guys, and this is something that people don't really get, is that 95% of businesses fail, especially over the first 10 years. They're gone. And so I've heard it one time. This is pretty hardcore, but I heard it from one of my coaches. He's like, yeah, owning a business is like putting your hand against a cheese grater and grating your hand. And I was like, that that sounds just about right. Now, here's the thing, guys. I'm going to do some math with you, and this is going to be crazy, but hopefully it inspires you, because it inspires me, and I think about this stuff all the time, especially when shit gets hard. Right now, this is 2021. I'm in 9 years being an entrepreneur. Next year will be my 10th. And at the year 10 is when people tend to fail a lot more than others. Now, here's the thing. You may fail at a business, but does not mean that you failed. So here's where I have to remember is that a business is not necessarily a person. And you might shut down businesses, start new businesses, do different things constantly. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. So the business does not make up who you are. Now, here's where we're going to go out with the math here. Okay, so there are, in the US, out of the whole population, 10.6% of the people in the US are business owners. So there's 328 million people. So imagine that's about 35 million entrepreneurs, essentially, out of 328. Now, if 95% of those fail in the first 10 years, that's 33 million businesses fail. That's a lot. Out of 34 million. We'll say 35 to round up. So that's 33 million that fail. So that means there's only 1,739,000 remain. That's the 5%. Basically about 2 million if we want to round up. So 2 million people actually remain in business. 5%. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's do it just for fun. Imagine there's this building, right? And they offer this service where if you want to be a business owner and you want to be successful, you have to walk into this room and there's a giant cheese grater. You got to put your fist up to it and then you got to grind your hand on it. And if you do that, you're gonna actually, you're gonna be successful. And so imagine those 34 million people lining up, all the business owners. Okay, now here's what's gonna happen. About 30% of those people just in line are going to leave. They're like, nope, fuck that. So that's like indicating like the first year of business. Like those 30% of people just bounce before it even gets hard. Okay, before they even see the cheese grater, they just go, it's gonna be hard. I'm not gonna do it. That's a lot of people. Okay, now once the people who remain, 50% of the people who remain, once they walk into the room when they actually see the cheese grater, they're gonna look at it and they're like, nope, and just walk out. So like they're not even gonna try to attempt it. They're not gonna go up to it. They're not even gonna give it a second thought. 80% of the people who remain, so talking about the 50% that remain, out of those 50, the 80% of the people that are left over will walk up to the cheese grater, look around it, turn it around, inspect it a little bit, analyze it, think about the process, think about the pain, and then they'll say, no, and then they'll walk away. So they're attempting it, they went into it, they went up to that. Now, if you take the remaining people, the remaining 5% of the the full 34,000, those are the people, and let's think about this, probably more like 2%. But let's say we take the remaining 5%, they're in the room, they analyze it, they go, okay, they put their fist up to the cheese grater. Then right when they start, they freak out and they bail out. Now remember, doesn't mean that they're not going to be successful. It just means that they're not going to go through the pain as much as the rest. Now remember, there's 2% of people. Those 2% of people walk in the room, don't even need to analyze it. They look at the cheese grater, they walk straight up to it, boom, put their hand on it, and just start grinding. Now, we have to remember who we are in this process. Are we the people that are going to walk away right when stuff gets hard? Are we going to be the people that walks away the second it gets hard and we try to push through it and then another obstacle comes, smashes us in the face? Are we the kind of people that we see an obstacle, we see pain, we see the challenge and go, all right, let's go. So what part of that percentage of people, where do you lie at? Now, I know for myself personally, this last week has been kind of crappy. I've got screwed over by somebody who took a lot of money from me and just, I don't know if it was a scam or if it was a scheme or what happened, but basically paid this person an individual a lot of money and then they bounced. Never heard from them again and they're gone. So that was really shitty. It's a big obstacle to have to go through. Some ads didn't work out. My ad account actually got flagged for saying something I probably shouldn't have said. I curse a lot too, so something like that. So lots of weird challenges keep happening, and so some stuff in life too, kind of going crazy. And so a lot of challenges happen, and it tends to get in your head of like, why am I doing this? Like, why do we put like? It'd be so much easier just go get a job and get paid $100,000 a year, but not have the stress of owning a business and pushing forward and dealing with people screwing me over and dealing with all that baggage that comes with it. But here's the thing, that's just not me. I'm not going to be that person that's going to run away. When these challenges happen, I look at them more as, and this is not easy. Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect at this, but when these challenges happen, I look at these challenges and say, okay, the challenge hit me, and what this resistance, you want to call it resistance, you want to call it demons or devils, or you want to call it negative energy, karma, I don't know what you want to call it, but when this resistance comes and hits, you have, it's like a roadblock, right? Now, the roadblock is going to be the obstacle that's going to help you get to the next section. So you're going to learn all the stuff you're going to learn from that roadblock, all the pain, the resilience you're going to gain from it is going to help you in the next phase. Because you have to remember, we all have different phases of the ability to think, of the ability to take a hit. Some people can't get smashed. It's like, so for example, someone's been in business for 20 years and they get a big hit, they lose $10 million and they get sued and all this stuff happens. If that happened to people like us who are still in phase 2, 3, or 4 in business, that would destroy us completely. But to some people, that's just another day in the office. So our job is to keep getting these resistance and just leveling up to the next level, because we can weather that storm. We went through a battle, great. We're not done with the war, because the war is long term, but we went through a battle, that hardened us a little bit. Okay, now we're in the second phase. So now we're going to be pushing, getting, going through business, innovating, changing stuff up, maybe closing, maybe starting up something new. Who knows? Like, your path is going to be different than everybody's path. I closed the whole business. I sold a business and I started a business all within the last year. So it's a lot of stuff. But the point is that this is just getting you to the next stage. So don't be wary. Don't feel like you're being pushed down too hard, because it sucks. But here's the thing. It's going to go, you're going to get through it. Okay. Now, just wanted to show off. I'm in Lake Arrowhead right now. Resort. It's freaking awesome. I recommend coming here. It's really cool. It's peaceful. A lot of kids here right now. But that's it for right now. I'm bringing in someone who's coming in a little late.